Hello there guys, welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea game, with the kickoff being at 7:45 PM UK time in Madrid at the Estadio Wanda Metropolitano. I don't know, that's I think what the pronunciation is. Obviously Atletico Madrid's new stadium, to which they moved to from the famous Vicente Calderón only a few weeks ago really. I'm back in Austria, as you can see. Had an incredible time in England and the Stoke game as well, but now it's back to normal. You might hear my voice might be a bit off. Clearly just allergic to Louis, clearly. No, I'm just feeling a bit ill. But yeah, we're going to have to roll with it. The press conference ahead of the game took place very late. It only took place at 6 PM UK time after the team landed in Madrid. So that's why the preview is out a lot later than it usually would be. But yeah, you know, that's why we're here now and not about 2 hours ago. Now coming to our opposition, as I usually do with Atletico Madrid. Obviously, they drew 0-0 away at Roma in the first game of the Champions League group this season. They currently sit in second in La Liga with 14 points after 6 games, with 4 wins and 2 draws. 4 points behind Barcelona, who have a 100% record for now. They don't need much of an introduction, really, do they? Atletico Madrid, having reached a Champions League final twice inside the last 4 years, beating us in the semi-final during the 2013-14 season, only to lose to Real Madrid on both occasions. But you know, they're still a very good team. I mean, not very many teams get to 2 Champions League finals in 2 years. Just clearly a very good team. Everyone knows the manager as well. Diego Simeone, in my opinion, a manager with a lot of similarities to Antonio Conte, the way they act on the sideline, the way also in the sense that they set up their teams. Obviously, Atletico Madrid don't play with 3 at the back, but like generally the kind of way the managers have their teams play is similar in some cases, so that's why I think they're rather similar managers anyway. Atletico, especially under Simeone, are very strong defensively. Like ever since he joined them, they've just always been very strong defensively. Last weekend they beat Sevilla by 2-0. Sevilla sitting third, 1 point behind Atletico in the league. So obviously before that game, Atletico was still behind Sevilla. Everyone knows Atletico Madrid's star players: Antoine Griezmann, Diego Godin, Yannick Carrasco, Koke, Jan Oblak in goal, and not to forget former Blue Felipe Luis as well. Obviously the Brazilian left back, who's instrumental to them doing well in the game basically. He's a very important player for them. Obviously Fernando Torres is also a player at Atletico Madrid. Diego Costa is basically just signed for them. Not officially, but like the transfer's been agreed obviously last week. So there's a lot of people there and players that know each other basically. Obviously Thibaut Courtois spent 3 years on loan at Atletico. You know, he had a great time there. He always says he really enjoyed his time there. Obviously that's now his, what, 4th season at Chelsea after being at Atletico, but obviously also like players like Fabregas, Azpilicueta, Pedro, Morata, and a lot of their players from the Spanish national team, and especially Morata also obviously from playing against them last season in La Liga. Generally, they're just a very hard team to beat. Like I said, defensively strong, but they aren't like Barcelona or Real Madrid and regularly score like 4 goals or more. And that's definitely to do with their generally a bit more defensive approach to games, especially against stronger teams. They generally set up a bit more cautiously, if you will, more than, for example, Barcelona or Real Madrid would. So far this season, they have been playing a 4-4-2 actually, with Griezmann and either Correa or Vieto up front together. All 3 rather short but very pacey strikers. At the same time, they have played Koke on either wing a few times, who isn't really a winger, more like, you know, a centre mid really. He is very fast, but very good passer of the ball. So did they sometimes change it to a 4-3-3 with Koke kind of being another centre mid, Griezmann or Correa being another winger, and Carrasco possibly on the other side? You know, it varies I suppose, but officially basically they have used the 4-4-2 basically all season long. Now coming to Antonio Conte's press conference, first thing he said was Atletico a very good team with great Champions League experience, and he praised the quality and the team and coach. Then he said, we are excited to play in this competition and we know we have to face a really good team. We have to play every game with the will to win, which, you know, thank God. Atletico against Roma played very well and maybe deserved to win, so as much as they drew 0-0, Atletico had a decent game, just couldn't finish their bacon basically. Conte, again, obviously was asked about Diego Costa. He says he has no problem with Diego Costa and wishes him the best for the future. He always just brushes these questions off because like he doesn't really want to talk about it. But obviously they were going to ask him about it, so he basically has to answer. Then Conte acknowledged that Spanish sides have basically dominated European football in recent years. Obviously Real Madrid winning 3 out of the last 4 Champions Leagues. Barcelona basically in between. Atletico being in the final twice in the last 4 years. And Conte said, we must try and change that. And I completely agree. It's time for us to do something again. Because they've won enough now. Then he was asked about Alvaro Morata, obviously, who's returning to Madrid. Other side of Madrid, not Real Madrid, but still returning to Madrid. Conte said Alvaro is a young player, only 24. For the first time, he has a great chance to start most games and to have the responsibility that comes with that. He's responding very well to a different pressure. You must be very strong, and I'm very pleased with his performances. Then he was asked about Eden Hazard, and Conte said this competition brings it to another level. Now he, meaning Eden Hazard, is fit and in contention for tomorrow's game. It's the right moment. That, like, in the right moment, I think just means Hazard will start, which is great. Very much looking forward to that. And then the last thing was some minor team news. Pedro has a minor problem, but not a serious one according to Antonio Conte. Everyone else except Danny Drinkwater is fit. David Luiz actually broke his wrist against Arsenal just before half-time when him and, I can't remember who it was, possibly Bellerin, basically just challenged each other and he fell onto the ad board and he must have broken his wrist while falling over basically. But Conte said his wrist injury will not stop him playing tomorrow, which is obviously great. Now coming to Chelsea, how I think we will line up, how I think the game will go, how I think both teams will basically approach the game, and my score prediction as well. So, coming to the lineup, I'm very confident that we will start with a 3-5-1-1/3-5-2 formation. Like we did against Spurs and like we did against Leicester away as well. So, with that, you know, being the formation, there's only a few discussions of who to play in certain positions. So it will definitely be Thibaut Courtois in goal. Cesar Spilicueta will start as the right centre-back. David Luiz will start as the central centre-back. Obviously, he's not suspended for the Champions League with his red card in the Premier League. And then the left side of centre-back is the difficult one. Well, I would prefer for Antonio Conte to start Christensen there. But I don't think that will happen as Antonio Conte only seems to be using Christensen as the central centre-back when David Luiz is not fit or suspended. So it's basically between Gary Cahill and Antonio Rudiger. Cahill obviously didn't start against Stoke. Rudiger did. Had a good game. Not a perfect game, but a good game. So it's difficult. But I just think Conte likes his experience. He thinks it's important. And to be fair, Rudiger, although having played in the Champions League, I think with Roma last year, didn't he? He might not even have done, to be honest. I'm not quite sure right now. But Cahill obviously bloody won it. Maybe Conte will choose Cahill because of the experience in the competition. I don't know. But I just have this feeling that he will go with Cahill, although I prefer Rudiger. The wing-backs, I'm pretty sure, will stay the same in Victor Moses and Marcos Alonso, just like against Stoke. I wouldn't mind seeing David Zappacosta play, but I think Atletico Madrid is not the right game for his first start against like a stronger team than Karabag and Forest. So I don't think that's the perfect game to just throw him in there. So I'd rather go with Moses and Alonso, to be honest. The three central midfielders in my predicted 3-5-1-1 formation will be, all the available central midfielders that we do have. Bakayoko, N'Golo Kante, and Cesc Fabregas. I think all of them will play. Bakayoko and Kante do the defensive work. Fabregas hopefully will have enough space to, create, to, show his creativity. And hopefully Atletico won't just overrun him and he will be completely invisible, if he does play, obviously. And ahead of the three midfielders, Eden Hazard and Morata. First time, I think Eden Hazard and Morata will start the game together. I think, like I said, Hazard will start. He didn't against Stoke, but he seems ready to play. He might not be at 100% of physical fitness, as in, he might not have might not be able to run for as long and as much, as he did, for example, at the end of last season, or like in the middle of last season. But for 60 or 70 minutes, he's by far our best player. So, he has to play, basically. If we want the chance of winning at Madrid, we have to start him. Of course, I could be wrong, and we could be going with a 3-4-3 like we more often than not do go with. To surprise Atletico, maybe, who maybe expect us to go 3-5-2. Who, obviously, like I said earlier, Atletico, even at home, against bigger teams, they approach games a bit more cautiously. But to be honest, I just very much doubt that we'll go with the 3-4-3, especially with Pedro not being at 100%. So, I think we will start Hazard just behind or next to Morata, maybe bring Willian on once Hazard is tired, or Pedro maybe he can play a little bit. But yeah, it would surprise me if we did actually start a 3-4-3. Now, talking about how I think the game will go. Like I said earlier, Atletico have been going with a 4-4-2 this season, with, like I said, two short but pacey strikers up front, which again makes me think, please don't play Cahill. He can't handle pacey and short players. Not sure if Rudiger would be perfectly suited against it, but certainly better suited against it than Gary Cahill is. But Atletico are a very difficult team to break down. But they're no Barcelona or PSG or Real Madrid or even Bayern Munich going forward. They do have very, very good players going forward, creative players. But they don't always create loads and loads and loads of chances. Or if they do, they don't finish them like they did against Roma. Like they could have easily scored 3 or 4 goals that game, but it just missed them, or the keeper made very good saves. So if we defend well, obviously we won't keep them out completely, but their finishing might not be perfect, and Thibaut Courtois might have to have a very, very good day. But if we do defend well, and if we are clinical with our chances, because they will be hard to break down, but we are too good not to create any chances at all. So if we defend well and are clinical, in front of goal, I think there is a chance of us taking all 3 points back to London. The question though is, will we defend well enough against someone like Griezmann? We might well be playing Gary Cahill up against him. That is a very different question. So it's difficult. I'm not sure who will try to take control of the game. I think they will start off with both teams basically like waiting to see what the other one does, and one of them eventually will have to take the book into their own hands. I think that will be Atletico Madrid, because they would have to win that game, I think, if they want to top the group after having drawn against Roma already. Because I reckon we would probably be satisfied if we left Madrid with 1 point. So that's why I think Atletico will have to win that game if they want to finish ahead of us in the group. So that's why I think they will go all out. Well, not all out, but like more attacking than they might do if, you know, at Stamford Bridge. But they still won't go all guns blazing. And, you know, like I said, defend well, be clinical with your chances, hit them well on the counter when you can. And I think we'll get something. So my score prediction is a 1-1 draw. I'd like to say maybe a 2-1 win to us, but my gut feeling is just telling me we'll get a draw. And to be honest, against a team that got to the final twice in the last 4 years, in their stadium, away from home, in Madrid, a draw would be a result that I would be, you know, happy enough with. It's not a perfect result. I wouldn't be jumping around like a crazy person from happiness, but I would be satisfied with a, you know, 1-1 with a point. I would be happy with it. But obviously, I'd much prefer to win. But, you know, like I said, it will be very difficult. Could lose, could draw, could win. I don't think there's real way to like predict that game, because it could go either way, to be honest. It could go either way. But yeah, that's really it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. On the game, what are your predicted lineups? Leave me your score predictions down in the comment section below as well, or any other thoughts that you have on the game or on what Antonio Conte said during his press conference. Also, check out a video we uploaded yesterday afternoon, which is a matchday vlog by Jean of the Chelsea versus Bristol City game. And it's something different to what you're used to on this channel. And that's all I'm going to say, but definitely go check it out. There will be, you know, an end screen somewhere at the end of the video now. Click that to have a look, and obviously let us know what you thought of that down in the comment section below of that video as well. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Massively do appreciate that. Check out my social media links, which you can see somewhere over here. Lavs1507 on Instagram and Twitter. I'd massively appreciate it if you follow me there. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chels. I'm buzzing for that game tomorrow. And I'll see you next time.